I told a local AI model with no internet access and no context that we were on a spaceship in the year 2145 heading to Mars. It didn't ask me a single question. It just started talking. It named the mission. It made up the crew. It invented laws of physics that didn't make sense. None of it was real, and the AI had no idea. I developed and built CareerSeeker AI. I also experiment with local large language models as a hobby, which is how I ran that little spaceship test in the first place. In this video, I'll show you exactly what AI is doing when you ask it, what career should I have? Where ChatGPT is actually useful, where it absolutely shouldn't be trusted on its own, and why the difference between a chatbot and a career discovery tool is one word: context. Grab a coffee and let's go. What happened on the spaceship is the most important thing to understand about every AI you use, including ChatGPT. The AI didn't know anything about a Mars mission in 2145. There is no Mars mission in 2145. It doesn't exist, but the model is trained to do one thing: produce a plausible sounding next word, then the next one, then the next one. So when I gave it a setup, it filled in the gaps, confidently, smoothly, authoritatively, with completely invented facts. Engineers have a name for this. It's called hallucination. The AI isn't lying exactly. It doesn't know it's wrong. It's just generating what sounds like an answer to what you asked. And it has three reliable tendencies that make this worse. One, it almost never says, "I don't know." It almost always produces something. Two, most of the time it agrees with you. If your question implies a premise, the model will roll with that premise, even if the premise is wrong. Three, it adds specificity, names, dates, numbers, often made up or outdated. The more specific the answer sounds, the more trustworthy it feels, and the more dangerous it is, because the confidence is doing the work the truth is supposed to do. This isn't a flaw you can prompt your way out of, it's how the technology works. The fix is something different, and it's the thing that separates a chatbot from a tool you can actually trust. So what happens when you point that same technology at your life? Here's what happens when you ask ChatGPT what career suits you. You type in a few sentences. I'm 32, I like reading, I dislike meetings, I'm okay with people but tired of teamwork, I want more money. ChatGPT responds in 20 seconds with a confident, polished, surprisingly specific list. Based on your profile, you'd thrive as a technical writer, a UX researcher, a librarian, or an editor. It sounds personalized. It feels personalized. It is not personalized. It's the spaceship problem in miniature. Watch what just happened. You gave the model 6 sentences of fragmented, surface-level information. The model has no idea about your actual personality traits, your conscientiousness, your openness, your need for structure. It doesn't know your past 5 jobs, your skills, your values, your tolerance for ambiguity. It doesn't know whether you're neurodivergent, whether you have a financial flaw, what your spouse does, what country you're in. It has 6 sentences, and it generated a confident, specific, plausible sounding answer anyway, because that's what the model does. There's a second problem on top of this one. ChatGPT is trained to be agreeable. If you say, "I think I'd be great at marketing," it will help you build a case for marketing, even if you'd hate marketing. If you push back on a recommendation, it will quietly adjust. The model isn't an objective advisor, it's a polished mirror. And there's a third problem you might not see at first. The recommendations ChatGPT gives are pulled from the most statistically common patterns in its training data. So you get back a list of common careers that common people with vaguely similar sounding profiles tend toward. Statistically, average answers, which is the opposite of what you want from a career assessment, which is supposed to surface paths you specifically might not have considered. So, is ChatGPT useless for career thinking? Actually, no, it's genuinely useful, just not for the part you'd assume. Let me be fair to the tool. ChatGPT is genuinely useful in career exploration, just not for the part most people use it for. Here's where it earns its keep. 1. Explaining unfamiliar roles. If a structured assessment surfaces a job title you've never heard of, say, Developer Relations Engineer, ChatGPT is excellent at telling you what that role actually does day to day, what kind of background fits it, what it pays. Use it for the explanation layer. 2. Brainstorming and reframing. If you're stuck on how to describe what you do, ChatGPT can take a vague sentence and rewrite it 5 different ways. That's useful. Real, concrete utility. 3. Drafting and editing. CV bullet points, cover letters, LinkedIn summaries. ChatGPT is a competent first draft generator and an even better editor. It speeds up tedious writing tasks dramatically. 4. Role-playing interviews. You can ask ChatGPT to play the hiring manager and rehearse difficult questions. The feedback is decent. The practice value is real. 5. Sense checking your own thinking. If you've written down what you think you want from a career, ChatGPT can stress test it, point out internal contradictions, suggest questions you haven't asked yourself. Notice what all of these have in common. They're not tell me what to do. They're help me think through what I already have. ChatGPT is excellent as an exploration and drafting layer. It's a bad foundation. The mistake people make is using it for the foundation, asking it to tell them who they are and what fits them, instead of using it as a smart assistant on top of a real foundation. So what is that foundation actually made of? A real career assessment isn't a simple chat. It's a framework with an AI working inside the framework. Here's the difference. When you take the CareerSeeker quiz, the AI isn't being asked, what should this person do? Out of thin air, it's being given a structured profile built from validated psychometric questions. Your scores across the big 5 personality traits: openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, neuroticism, your stated values, your skills, your work environment preferences, your neurodivergent profile if you choose to share it. The questions themselves are designed to surface signals that one-line answers can't. They triangulate, they cross-check, they're weighted differently based on what they're measuring. Then the AI gets involved, and it doesn't get involved as a fortune teller. It gets involved as a matching engine, taking your structured profile and aligning it against career data, role characteristics, and patterns from psychology research. The output is grounded in something. That's the whole game. Same underlying AI technology, completely different output because the AI has been given context, and the context has been shaped by a framework that knows what to ask, what matters, and what to wait. This is the part the spaceship demo was really about. When I told the AI we were on a Mars ship in 2014, it had no scaffolding. It hallucinated freely. When you give an AI structured input grounded in real psychometric measurement, the same model behaves very differently because the system around it is doing the work of keeping it honest. The AI isn't the product, the framework is the product, and the AI is the engine inside it. So how should you actually use both? Because the answer isn't pick one. Here's what the actually useful stack looks like. Start with a structured assessment. Whether that's CareerSeeker, a Big 5 test through a university research site, or a session with a real career coach, start from something that gives you grounded data about who you are. That's your foundation. Then use ChatGPT on top of it. Take the careers your assessment surfaced and ask ChatGPT to explain each one in plain English. Ask it what a typical day looks like. Ask what skills you'd need to build. Ask it to help you draft an outreach email to someone working in that field. That's where the model genuinely earns its keep. The order matters. Foundation first, exploration on top. If you reverse it, exploration without foundation, you end up exactly where the spaceship AI ended up. Confident, fluent, completely untethered from reality. To make the foundation step easy, that's what I built CareerSeeker for. The quiz takes about 10 minutes. It runs on the top, highly reasoning AI models, with a structured psychometric framework underneath that gives it something real to work with. No account, no email, no login required. And to be straight with you, I'm not telling you to stop using ChatGPT for career stuff. I'm telling you to give it a foundation first. Let me leave you with this. AI without context will confidently invent a Mars mission, a crew, and laws of physics. Pointed at your career, it will confidently invent a career path with the same level of polish, and you won't be able to tell. The difference between a chatbot and a specific tool is one word: context. A structured assessment gives the AI something real to work with. ChatGPT on top of that is a great exploration partner. ChatGPT instead of that is just a more articulate spaceship. You can start with the free CareerSeeker AI quiz, links below. No commitment, just a real foundation. If this helped you think more clearly about what AI is actually doing, hit subscribe. I'm making more of these videos. And if someone in your life is asking ChatGPT live questions and trusting every word, send it their way. Talk again soon.